Good evening. It's a bit later at night than I usually do, but it's Christmas Eve, and I haven't really set up any Christmas programs for uh, this year. So let's go ahead and bake some cookies for Santa and have some random holiday fun. Now we will be baking cookies using a game called Cookie Clicker, which is the which is the game that started the idle game craze about 10, 12-ish years ago. The idle game craze has since proliferated um, all over the place, but especially on mobiles. So I have another stream planned in the next couple of weeks where we'll take a look at some of the mobile variants on idle games. But for tonight, we're looking at the game that started it all, the browser-based Cookie Clicker. So let's switch right over to the browser and get into it. As you can see, I forgot to set my browser back from yesterday. Let's do this the easy way. There we go. So we have our cookie clicker window. You can see we're at 0 cookies because we haven't set anything up yet. And this is an idle game, meaning after we've been playing for a few minutes, we can start setting it up to go by itself. And while it is idling, we'll have some random holiday fun. I have ChatGPT queued up to give us some nice Christmas poetry. I have I might sing a couple songs. I apologize in advance for those parts of the stream, and I may even have another surprise or two up my sleeve later. But let's go ahead and start baking our cookies. And here's the game just reminding me to back up the save. We need to change the name of this bakery. Uh, we'll just call it Evie because that's the name of my channel. And you feel like making cookies, but nobody wants to eat my cookies. Of course, nobody wants to eat my cookies because we don't have any yet. Achievement unlocked. What's in a name? Give your bakery a name. Okay. And what's this? And that was just a banner pop up telling me about browser cookies. This is the one time that was actually thematically appropriate. So let's go ahead and click this cookie. And now we have one cookie for Santa. And now we'll just click a bunch of times and make a bunch more cookies for Santa. And a reindeer jumped across my screen and gave me 25 cookies. I wonder if a festive hat unlocks something. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse, and we need 25 cookies to purchase that. And now we need 2,525 to purchase Santa's legacy. And we can start bringing in cursors to auto-click for us. So let's start doing that. But 0.1 cookie per second is nothing. We need to keep building that up. And we're going to keep manually clicking until our cursors have some decent production. We're only a couple minutes in. We've got a nice start. So we're up to 6.1 per second cursors helping us click cookies. We got to keep building on that number. Let's build up to 10 cursors and see what happens. And I can see we've unlocked grandmas, but we're going to wait and see what these power-ups are. So we need 53 for our 10th cursor. So yeah, Santa doesn't get to eat all the cookies because we have to spend some to get the upgrades. So we've unlocked casual baking. We now have 1 automatic cookie per second. Let's look at some of the power-ups. The reinforced index finger. The mouse and cursors are twice as efficient. Yeah, we're going to keep helping our cookies until we can get a few of these cursor upgrades that are starting to pop up here. And then we need 500 cookies for carpal tunnel prevention cream. Okay, let's keep going. Let's save up 500 cookies. And in a minute or two, sorry about the banner ads. There's nothing I can do about it. It's part of the website. What does this test tube do? Evolve, sacrifice one cookie. I can do that. All right, we have another Santa upgrade. Okay, these upgrades are going to be too expensive for us, I think. All right, yeah, we're not going to be able to get these right away. And we just rose the prices of all the upgrades, it looks like. So we won't be able to do the Santa stuff yet. All right, let's work on our carpal tunnel prevention cream. And there's a bonus cookie. We just got the bonus cookie. The mouse and cursors are twice as efficient. It hurts to click. Okay, so now we're getting 4 cookies per second automatically. Let's raise our cookie. We got some more. We got another reindeer. All right, we're gonna do another round of cursors, I think. And then we will start on the grandmas who will help us bake cookies for Santa. Because right now we can't give Santa any cookies yet because we need them all for upgrades. We just got the Clicktastic achievement. All right, one more cursor. People are starting to talk about my cookies. We are now making 8 cookies per second in idling and 4 cookies per click. Let's start bringing up the grandmas. Shh.
Streaming. I'm watching my thing through headphones.
All right, so it says each grandma produces 1 cookie per second. So we need to get a bunch more grandmas. So we're going to make them up to 10 so we can start to get some upgrades. I'm not going to read these little news bits that come along. It's little bits of humor that the game is known for. You can just read it on your own if you want. I want to just focus on talking about what's going on in the game. So we have 5 grandmas, 13 cookies per second. We want to get 5 more grandmas to start getting the grandma upgrades, and then we'll see what upgrades we can hit to increase idle efficiency. Because at this point, I don't think I really need to click manually anymore, at least for right now. Production's good, but not yet at the point where it's high enough that I want to switch focus and do some waiting things. But yeah, we'll get to the poetry and the songs soonish. All right, there's our eighth grandma. And you can see some of the grandmas are dressed in festive holiday clothes. The blue dressed grandmas are the game's default ones, but because the game's in Christmas mode, we get some elf grandmas as well. And you'll notice as the game goes on and we get more upgrades, some of the grandmas start to take other outfits as well. Let's see how many grandma variants we can discover tonight. My cookies are starting to become popular. Let's hope there's some left for Santa when he comes around later in about a little less than 24 hours. So we have 10 grandmas. The cheapest grandma upgrade is 1,000. So let's help it along a little bit. We found another reindeer. So now we can go ahead forwards from grandma. Ree thought you'd get a kick out of this. Grandmas are twice as efficient. So now we're getting 28 cookies per second. And it's nice that it sorts the upgrades by price. So the next thing we're looking for is 5,000, so we can get the next grandma upgrade and really start kicking production into drive. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do another round of cursors and then another round of grandmas as well. And we can start bringing out farms in a little bit as well. Let's finish our round of cursors. Let's grab another round of grandmas, look at upgrades, and then we will start the farms. We've had a very good first 12 minutes or so, but can always get better. We're at just over 30 coins per 30 cookies per second now. Sorry. Um, and while we're gonna let it raise funds at this level for a bit. So once we get this 10th cursor, we'll be at 32 cookies per second, and we'll go ahead and we'll summon our first Christmas poem. Q, do you have any? Do you have a request for a topic for our first Christmas poem?
I don't have any requests for you except I have a feeling you're. Uh, pause the microphone.
I can't right now. I'm in a frenzy. I just got a power up. And actually, this power up means we're not going to pause for a poem just yet because we're going to have the cookies we need to buy a round of upgrades. The cookie frenzy is a big multiplier, so let's go ahead and buy a bunch of stuff and get our production up, and then we'll start looking at. Um, and my cook looks like, according to the news headlines at the top, my cookies are becoming quite popular. What were you gonna say?
Is your microphone paused?
Does it have to be?
Yes.
Why?
I
All
have
right,
something technical to say.
you can say it. Nobody's listening right now.
I have a feeling you're using a ton of bandwidth when you're streaming, so if you want to continue streaming, we need to upgrade our bandwidth, and that
We've
means
already upgraded our bandwidth
we need to upgrade some
considerably.
more. Yeah, we need to upgrade some more because my thing is I've got choppy connection between my phone and
Well,
the
it's not. It's
Wi-Fi.
not me doing that.
Yeah, it is because it started with the stream.
Oh. Well, it's probably because you're trying to Bluetooth your headphones while That's stream. I mean, you got a bunch of connections going on yourself.
Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are two very different
Yeah, but
things.
you got a bunch of connections going on
But
yourself.
Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are two very different things. Your stream uses up a ton of Wi-Fi bandwidth.
All right, we just caught another reindeer. All right, let's get some upgrades going here. So we now have. I want to keep. I want to keep each per producer in multiples of 10. So let's bring up 10 more grandmas. And before we start the farms, let's go ahead and bring up seal-plated rolling pins. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Just what you needed. Nice pun there. And then ambidextrous. The mouse and cursors are twice as efficient. Look, Ma, both hands. And we are now up to 104 cookies per second. We've automated things. So let's go ahead and get our first 10 farms. And the farm produces 8 cookies per second. So we want to get 10 of those. And I don't really have to do manual clicking at this point, except during the frenzies when we get the big multipliers. We'll be switching into poetry in just a moment. I want to get our game to a specific point before. I have something really special uh, queued up in the other window, but I want to make sure we have a solid start to the game first. I want to make sure the idler is idling efficiently before. I'll just come right out and say it. I've queued up a small holiday themed Lego set in the computer Lego. Um, I don't have any more physical Lego to build right now, but we will be doing, before the stream is over, we will be building a little holiday, uh, a cute little holiday model I found. We're at 7 farms, and it's going to be about 9,000 cookies to finish the last 3 farms. So I will accelerate a little bit with some manual clicking. And then we will look at what we want to do regarding power-ups. We got a lot of power-ups appearing here, a lot of which we cannot afford yet. But you'll notice with each power-up, we get our cookies per second is going to drop a lot, is going to jump a lot, which is a good thing. So now we have 184 cookies per second, and pretty soon we'll be able to start setting some aside for Santa. But we gotta keep going so we can buy more. The next goal is 11,000 cookies for the first farm upgrade. And while we wait for that, I'm gonna come over here. I've I've called up. We are joined today by ChatGPT to give us some nice Christmas poetry, and we just caught another reindeer. I think that's our 6th reindeer. So we're not doing poetry just yet, because now we got what we need for our farm upgrade. Cheap hose. Farms are twice as efficient. Um, Rake in the dough. So now we're at 264 cookies per second. And the next upgrade is at 50,000. That's the next thing I want to go for. So now we'll come up over. I'm going to call up. I have a trusty robot, ChatGPT AI, who's going to feed us some Christmas poetry. All right, I told ChatGPT to write a Christmas haiku. Snowflakes gently fall beneath the trees' soft embrace. Joy wraps every heart. I really like haiku, so we'll do a few more haikus before we get into more traditional rhyming poetry. Candles flicker bright, gifts exchanged in warmth and light, silent night's delight. Yeah, we can go on haikus for a bit while we wait to hit the 50,000 cookies. So this is the haiku section of our stream. I haven't really done haiku on stream before, but I've been into haiku for many years. Sometimes when I'm feeling particularly playful, sometimes I'll speak in haiku. That takes a lot of spontaneity and coming up with things on the fly, though, so I don't do it often. All right. Starlight on the tree, whispers of a world aglow, peace in every snow. All right, I like the mood being set by this haiku. We're starting to get a holiday mood going here. Um, we hit the 50,000. Plastic mouse clicking gains plus 1% of your CPS. Slightly squeaky. Next upgrade is at 55,000. So now instead of 8 clicks, we get 10.6 cookies per click. And what that means is every time we buy one of the production facilities, our actual clicks will go up by a little bit as well. So we want to raise 55K for fertilizer, which is our next upgrade. So let's get some more haiku going. Chimneys hushed exhale, stockings hung with hopes unveiled, Christmas dreams set sail. I like the mood we're setting here. Let's keep the haikus flowing. Bells in winter's dance, carols weave a sweet romance, love in each glance. Okay, that last line was short a syllable, but pretty good. It's still setting the mood. We got another reindeer. All right, I think we'll switch focus off of haikus in a little bit. Frost-kissed windows gleam, hearts wrapped in a festive dream, Christmas whispers beam. All right, I like where we're going with this mood setting on the haikus, but we're almost here with the cookies. So one more haiku, and we'll be ready for the next upgrade. Mirthful bells resound, cozy hearths in joy abound, peace on earth is found. That was a good one. All right, we're just gonna wait here for a moment. Fertilizer farms are twice as efficient. It's chocolate, I swear. All right, so we'll be able to click that in just a moment here. And we're up to 424 cookies per second. So we're going to save up the 68,000 we need for, all right. All these Christmas power upgrades are the same price. But I think they go up in price as we buy them. All upgrade. Cookie production plus 15 or random. I don't have Santa levels right now, I don't think. We're not ready to evolve Santa yet, so we're going to get the 15% production multiplier, I think, at 68. We're going to keep going with the haikus while we wait for the 68, which will be a little bit quicker because we've bumped up the farms. And then we're going to work more on production. Snowflakes softly sing, Evergreen dreams take to wing, a silent night's fling. Okay. I really like where ChatGPT is taking us with these haikus. It's taking us to a happy, peaceful place. And after that intense fight, and after that intense encounter we had with the Borg the other night in our Star Trek training day, no less. Uh, yeah, it's nice to have a peaceful night. Gifts of love unwrap, candlelight in shadow's lap, Christmas dreams take shape. All right. Um, I don't know if the next Christmas upgrades are going to become more expensive. I know they'll become more expensive if we buy another round of the Christmas tree upgrade at the bottom of the screen. Starlit nights embrace, laughter echoes through the space, Christmas magic grace. I like how it's trying to do a little bit of rhyming as well on some of these. All right. We're coming up on 68, so one more haiku should take us there. Moonlight on the snow, whispers of goodwill grow, Christmas spirits glow. All right. I think that one may have been missing a syllable, but it's time for the upgrade. So we're going to do improve jolliness. Cookie production multiplier plus 15%. Cost scales with Santa level. A nice wobbly belly goes a long way. You jolly? And we just found another reindeer. So that brings our cookie production up to 487.6 per second. And it looks like these other upgrades are actually the same price. So we're going to do a few more haikus and grab another one of those upgrades. Glistening treetops. Snowflakes weave a tranquil hush. Yuletide dreams aglow. Yeah, we're a half hour in. I like that we're doing a little haiku segment. Fireside tales unfold. Tinsel sparkles, story told. Warmth in hearts, pure gold. And we just got a frenzy, but that's automated production, so we're just going to let that run, and we'll be able to upgrade a bunch of stuff once that finishes. Um, Meanwhile, while that's running, we'll do another haiku or two. Snowflakes twirl and play, candles dance in soft array, Christmas night's ballet. I like this. All right. Yeah, we're going to do a round of production along with the upgrades, I think. We still got a little bit of time on the frenzy. Fireside flickers gleam, gifts of love in moonlight's beam, Christmas dreams redeem. All right. The frenzy's about to end, so we'll do a round of upgrades on our cookies, and then we will see where we want to go with the Christmas entertainment. Toy Workshop. All upgrades are 5% cheaper. Cost scales with Santa level. Watch yourself around elves-droppers who might steal our production secrets, or elven worse. I can deal with cheaper upgrades. That's a good thing. All right. Cookie production, Santa's legacy. Cookie production multiplier plus 3% per Santa's levels. Cost scales with Santa levels. In the North Pole, you got to get the elves first. Then when you get the elves, you start making the toys. Then when you get the toys, then you get the cookies. and that just boosted our production up considerably. 1,000 fingers. The mouse and cursors gain plus 0.1 cookies for each non-cursor building owned. Clickety. So we're at 13.5. We'll buy that. And that brings up to 17.6 on the click. And then we have Santa's bottomless bag. Random drops are 10% more common. Cost scales with Santa level. This is one bottom you can't check out. All right. Let's get another level of Santa. We have an itchy sweater, a reindeer. Uh, so we need to get the itchy sweater for 200K, and then we'll work on production facilities. We're only about a half hour into the game, and I think we're doing well with getting things going here. Things turn really bizarre in later stages of this game. I remember that. I'm hoping we can see a little bit of that before we're done here. We need how much? 194. Um, all right. Let's do new chat. Please write the opening scene of a musical about a bunch of grandmas baking cookies for Santa on Christmas Eve. No, not the opening scene of a musical. That's going to be too much to recite, I think. Please write an epic poem, and meanwhile, I'll come here. I'll buy the upgrade. Cookie production multiplier plus 1%. Cost scales with Santa level. You don't know what's worse: the embarrassingly quaint elf on reindeer motif, or the fact that wearing it makes you feel like you're wrapped in a dead Sasquatch. Okay, these upgrade quotes, some of them are silly. All right, that didn't do much for us, but it was a little bit. And now let's work on production. Let's work on production multipliers right now. Let's start bringing up the mines. Each mine produces 62.8 cookies per second. So these mines are really going to boost their production. And we want to get 10 of those. And we're making almost 1,000 cookies per second now. All right. Well, this is a long poem. Let's wait till we're saving up for something big to read this one. Right now, we'll focus on cookies for a while. Yeah, that 20.9 isn't going to get us anywhere. And we've just broken 1,000 cookies per second. We found another reindeer. All right, we need 2 more mines. And let's also find out what our next present's going to be. You find a present which contains Santa's milk and cookies. All right, it's going to be a while before we get that upgrade. Let's get our 2 more mines and then see what we want to do. All right, we need one more mine, and we're now making over 1,300 cookies per second. It's the middle of the night here, but I don't care. We're having too much fun. We have 10 mines, and before we continue with upgrades, we're just going to boost production on these other things. Let's go up to 20 farms. All right, once we hit 20 farms, we'll go up to 30 grandmas and 40 cursors. And we just had some new upgrades up here. The first one's going to be at 47,000. And we've just built our 100th production, which is good. All right, lubricated dentures. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Squish. All right, the next upgrade is going to be at 52. All right. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Farms gain plus 1% CPS for each grandma. A nice farmer to grow more cookies. And we got another reindeer, so we can probably buy a couple things. So grandmas will go up and farms will become linked to grandmas. Wow, that really boosted our production. And you'll notice, in addition to the elf grandmas and the regular grandmas, um, we now have farmer grandmas as well. So you'll see as we get the upgrades for the different production facilities, we'll get different grandma variants up there. And then we can build sugar gas. Mines are twice as efficient. A pink volatile gas found in the depths of some chocolate caves. All right. Our next upgrade is at 570. So let's actually start working on our factories right now. I think we can do. So we now have a baby Santa thing. We got a lump of coal. Uh, the Santa upgrades are going to cost us a little bit now, so let's back off from doing that. Let's go ahead and do another round of these. We got our 50th cursor. right, 3 more farms, and then we'll need some time to raise the cookies we need for mines in our first row of factories. So let's get the farms up to speed though. I like my multiples of 10. And then while we wait for more cookies, I'm going to read this poem. I told ChatGPT to write us an epic poem about a bunch of grandmas baking cookies for Santa on Christmas Eve. In a quaint little town, when the moon hung high and the stars danced merrily in the velvet sky, a group of grandmas with hearts pure and warm embarked on a mission, a magical norm. Christmas Eve approached, a night so divine, with whispers of wonder and spirits entwined. In kitchens adorned with memories and glee, grandmas gathered neath the old oak tree. Aprons tied tight with flour on their hands, they wielded their rolling pins like wands. A symphony of laughter, a fragrance so sweet, as spices and sugar began to compete. The ovens hummed softly, a carol of heat, as grandmas concocted a festive feast. Gingerbread men and sugar delights, dancing in ovens, such heartwarming sights. Butter and love, the secret behind, each cookie adorned a treasure to find. Cranberries and nuts, a sprinkle of cheer, Grandma's whispered wishes only Santa could hear. The kitchen transformed into a magical realm with cinnamon whispers and cardamom's helm. Grandmas with wisdom etched on their faces shared tales of Christmases in far off places. As the cookies baked, their aromas took flight, guided by the stars weaving through the night. An army of angels, sugar sweet and bright, carried the scents to the North Pole's height. Santa in his sleigh felt a jolly sensation, a sweet invitation, a joyful foundation. Down chimneys he'd glide with a merry decree to discover the grandma's sweet gift for his tea. The grandmas still baking, their spirits ablaze, whispered blessings and sang hymns of praise. They awaited Saint Nick with hearts full of grace, in the warmth of the kitchen, a sacred space. As the clock struck 12, the grandmas stood still, their eyes twinkling bright, a joy to fulfill. For Santa arrived with a hearty ho 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 to partake in the feast, a tradition to grow. Grandmas and Santa in laughter they swayed, a timeless communion in memories laid. For in the humble kitchens where cookies were baked, generations of love and warmth were staked. So here's to the grandmas with hearts pure and true, baking cookies for Santa, a tradition they knew. On Christmas Eve, neath the moon's silver sheen, their love and sweet treats, an epic scene. That was a good poem. And cookie production just went up for a bit. We will buy the plain cookies, cookie production multiplier plus 1%. We all got to start somewhere. And now let's bring up 10 more mines. And in a minute, we'll figure out what we want to write for our next poem. We're now baking over 5,000 cookies per second. And you know what we're going to do once we finish this row of mines? We are going to switch our purchase multiplier to 10. It'll be more efficient as we buy stuff. Production, I mean. Because it'll buy 10 copies at a time instead of one. One more mine, and then we'll write another Christmas poem and get our factory started. One moment. I'm going to keep this running, of course. All right. So we got our mine, and now we're saving up for. All right. ChatGPT, please write an epic poem about the origins of the tradition of decorating Christmas trees. And we'll let it write. And meanwhile, all right, our first row of factories, it looks like, now that I set the multiplier to 10, is going to cost 2.7 million. So we got to wait a bit for that. All right. In days of yore, when winter's breath did bite, and darkness ruled the longest, coldest night, a tale unfolds of traditions bright, of Christmas trees, a festive, wondrous sight. In deep woods, where the evergreen stood tall, their branches whispered tales to one and all, of ancient magic hidden in their boughs, a gift to mortals, a sacred vow. In a distant land where snowflakes danced, a humble village, its people entranced, by legends of a tree adorned with care, a beacon of hope, a symbol rare. In the heart of winter, a solstice feast, the villagers gathered, joy never ceased. Yet the chill of the season bore heavy on their backs. They yearned for warmth, for solace, for tracks. Then came a wanderer, wise and old, with stories of evergreens untold. He spoke of a tradition, a magical rite, to chase away darkness, to welcome the light. Go to the forest with heart sincere, select a tree, one you hold dear. Adorn it with treasures, with love and grace. Let it shine bright in this sacred space. The villagers listened, their eyes wide, a glimmer of hope like stars by their side. They ventured into the woods with lanterns aglow in search of a tree to make their hearts grow. Each family chose with laughter and glee a tree to cherish, to set spirits free. With baubles and trinkets they decked the green, a symphony of joy, a festive scene. The evergreen stood, now adorned with pride, their branches kissed by a Yuletide tide. A tradition born passed through the years of Christmas trees that conquer all fears. So in winter's embrace, when the world turns white, we honor the tale and the magical rite. Adorn your tree with love and delight, a symbol of hope on the longest night. I like these poems. All right, yeah, I like what we're doing here tonight. I kind of made up the plan for this stream on the spot. This was totally all improvised. I didn't have a plan going into this, but yeah, I like this. We're gonna do another Christmas poem soon, but before we do, I just want to show you the Lego set that we'll be building a little bit later. Computer Lego, of course. I don't have the set physically physically yet. It's a it's a nice little winter carriage ride that they put out. I think this was a gift with purchase recently, um, which is a program that Lego does to give you incentives to buy more directly through Lego. Um, it's not a big set. It won't take us that long to put it together. Um, the horse, that exact horse, was not in the parts database when I tried to load the set in the studio. So I picked a slightly different horse, but the effect is the same. Anyway, so now we're back to the cookies. And for our first row factories, we need 2.6. So we gotta wait a little bit longer. All right, next poem. Please write a sonnet, specifically a sonnet, because that's more short form. Please write a sonnet about Christmas in, what's a nice classic place to have Christmas in? Christmas in, no. Please write a sonnet about the Christmas demon Krampus. For those who don't know, Krampus, in some traditions, is a character who accompanies Santa on his ride, and while Santa is giving gifts to all the good children, Krampus goes and punishes all the bad children. Some of the some of the stories regarding coal to the bad children come from the idea of Krampus, but he was originally a lot meaner, a lot worse. I can't even tell you on stream some of the things I've heard about him. So yeah, you don't want to be a bad kid on Christmas in some countries. So please write a sonnet about the Christmas demon Krampus. And we'll keep, and I'm doing a sonnet, which is a short form because we're not going to spend too much time on him. In Alpine realms where winter winds doth wail, a Yuletide tale unfolds both dark and grim, of Krampus, ancient demon's fearsome trail, a shadowed figure, monstrous and grim. When Christmas joy pervades the frosty air, and children dream of gifts and festive cheer, Krampus emerges from his lair, his presence heralds trepidation near, with hooves that clatter against the frozen ground, and chains that rattle with an eerie sound. He seeks the naughty, mischievous, and bold, to punish those whose hearts have turned to cold. Yet in the depth of winter's longest night, Krampus' wrath may yield to morning's light. Thus, in the season of joy and mirth, beware the Krampus shadowed, spectral girth. There are some people who believe that Dr. Seuss's Grinch character was inspired by Krampus. I don't doubt it, but Grinch actually came around. And I mean, technically, Krampus does work with Santa. They're either friends or at least tolerate each other, so Krampus can't be all bad, right? Okay, and we have enough cookies for our first row of factories, which is going to bring our production, whoa, all the way up to just under 10,000 cookies per second. And we have some upgrades, but first a reindeer. We got snowflake biscuits. What's that? Oh, that's a Christmas cookie we can buy that we can't afford yet. Cookie trees. Farms are twice as efficient. A relative of the breadfruit. Mega drill. Mines are twice as efficient. You're in deep. All right, we have a lot of upgrades available now. Minor grandmas. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Mines gain plus 1% CPS per 2 grandmas. A nice miner to dig more cookies. So you can see we now have minor grandmas who joined the farmer grandmas, the elf grandmas, and the normal grandmas.
Cookie clicker. It's a game.
Um, let's see, what do we want to do next? I think we want to wait for the 1.2 million. We'll do a sonnet. Uh, please write a sonnet about the Wookiee holiday. For those of you who don't know, um, in the Star Wars universe, they have a holiday very similar to Christmas, originated by the Wookiees of Kashyyyk and then spread throughout the rest of the galaxy. So we're going to ask ChatGPT to give us a sonnet about the Life Day version of the holiday. But first, we have to get an upgrade. Sturdier conveyor belts. Factories are twice as efficient. You're going places. And the next step is to save up some more. I think upgrades is where it's at right now because you can see how much the additional rows are going to start costing us at this point. So let's read. All right, the Wookiee Holiday Life Day. In galaxies afar where stars align, a Wookiee holiday sublime and grand. Life Day emerges joyous and benign, binding all beings in a festive band. Chewbacca leads the furry celebration, a time for peace, transcending all divides. On Kashyyyk's plains, a jubilation as unity and harmony abides. The trees are adorned with lights aglow as Life Day carols echo through the air. Wookiees and friends in merriment bestow their hearts and songs, a jubilant affair. So raise a cheer, let Life Day's spirits soar, a universal bond forevermore. I like these poems. But we're gonna have to start the Legos pretty soon because we're an hour into stream. We got some nice production going. A lump of coal, cookie production multiplier plus 1%. Cost scales with Santa level. Some of the world's worst stocking stuffing. I guess you could try starting your own little industrial revolution or something. Um, but first, a reindeer. Okay? And then we use Santa's milk and cookies. Milk is 5% more powerful, cost scales with Santa level. Part of Santa's dreadfully unbalanced diet. All right, but I don't know what milk does. Oh, milk doesn't do anything till we get our first kitten. Hmm. I don't even know. I don't even remember how to check the milk. All right, let's let production go for a while we do the Lego, and then we should be able to buy a bunch of these upgrades at once. So let's go over to the Lego Studio. And let me pull up my instructions. Since we're not watching the cookies right now, I guess I can pull the instructions over where I can actually see them and use them. And here we are. We're ready to start building our little Lego scene. All right. Should be a relatively quick build. Bag one is um, the front of the carriage and the people and the horse. Bag two is the rest of the carriage. All right. Bags don't matter because we're in the computer Lego. So let's bring our horse into the scene. And this is not the exact horse that comes in the set, but it's very similar. Um, the database didn't load the correct horse for some reason. So we have our horse. And we will also put in the horse cap. You can. We're not going to put in the horse cap because when the horse is connected to the carriage, it's going to connect right there. So, and then we have a couple of minifigures. So let's go ahead and build the 3 people real quick. Probably makes more sense to just save these for last, but they're the first page of the instructions. So, excuse me a minute. All right, so we're back on. Um, Let me come back into the studio here, and we will keep adding pieces to our minifigures. There's a girl, a guy, and a driver here in this set. Shh. All right, back for real. Um, let's get these torsos put together. Oh, that's a nice sweater the guy has. And then, of course, the driver's uniform. He's even got a little watch in his pocket. That's a nice detail.
Don't do that.
We have scarves for the 2 riders. And oh, hold on. There's supposed to be 2 of those. And then we need to give everybody heads. All right. This is the girl's head. Which side I want to show? Let's show the happy side. This is the boy's head. He's not dual molded, unlike her. That's a calm, serene look. Let's go with that. And then of course the driver's face. He's just got the one face too. Oh yeah, because they have short hair and a hat, and that doesn't hide their back. That's why they're not dual. But all right, hairs. Here's the boy's hair. Here's the girl's hair. And here's the driver's hat. The driver is also holding a carrot. So let's raise his hand. And then let's put the carrot together in his hand. So he's holding the top of the carrot. And then we bring in the rest of the carrot. All right. So the people are made. Let's let's see here. Actually, she will look better with her smile, I think. All right, we're ready to merge them up. All right. And let's begin building. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, that's not the piece I'm looking for. That's not the piece I'm looking for. There, I think that's it. Yeah. All right, how's this supposed to go on? Why is it not letting me put that, attach that? There's something wrong with that piece. Is that piece not programmed correctly? All right, tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna trick it. Yeah, that looks like it's correct. And it's recognizing it as a collision because of course it is. But let's just proceed and then we will. All right. One moment. Oh, I just clicked. I just misclicked. Let me see what I'm doing here. All right. Back to the studio and let's keep things moving. Then we have a regular plate here. Okay, something's not lining up correctly here. Hold on. Give me a moment to figure out what's not lining up here. All right. I'm going to proceed and hope it doesn't break the model too much because I can't figure out what's going on here. Did I miss? Okay, that actually is looking like the picture. But looks like it's not, still not lining up quite appropriately. We're just going to proceed and pray that things don't break too much. When we do the render, it's not going to be noticeable as bad geometry anyway, so. things aren't lining up exactly correctly. I hope that doesn't affect us too much, but we'll keep going. I think it's just an improperly programmed piece, that's all. Yeah, that definitely doesn't look right. That piece looks a little bit better. All right, we need okay, I think from here we should be good to go. All right, so now we get to make some plants, a little bit of decoration for the front of the carriage. And then we need to add some flowers on top of those leaves. And then we need to add 2 wheels. Which wheels are these? No, the fancy ones don't match the picture. These are the plain wheels up here. All right. We'll call this unit front. And the instructions say we're going into bag 2, so let us go ahead and save real quick. I always try to save my computer builds at each new bag. And as usual, I'll do the render after stream because sometimes that makes lag. So let's keep. Oh, we have this way too close up. Let's move this over here for now. I have a bunch of special streams planned in the coming years. There's even a couple series plans I'm planning to do that I was originally planning to do this year before the move got me all caught up on stuff. So there will definitely be some serial content. Things where I play a game not for one stream to just to revisit it, but where I actually play it for a while. I'm not sure exactly which games we're going to do that with, but there's definitely a few games that I've been wanting to play for a while. Okay. So you can see how the collision messes up most of that. Yeah. We're going to leave collision turned on because it helps for accurate placement. We'll turn it off for the render, of course. And after we're done with the model, we'll check in again on the cookies and keep it going a little more, maybe with some more poetry. I'm not ready to call it quits on the cookies for tonight, but I want to leave it passive for a good long while to save up the funds that we need. So to actually start making some more progress in the game. So that's why we're doing a little bit of Lego now. I don't know what we're going to do the next time there's a big um, there's a there's a big section we need to wait for. But this set should take us a while to build, so I think we're good on that front technically. Okay, interesting usage there. It has us using this treasure chest piece to be what I think might be the base of the seat. I could be wrong on that though. Right now our carriage doesn't actually look like a carriage yet. And I'm just going to go ahead and line that up because with computer Lego, everything just pops into place. With physical Lego, I would have needed to bring in the other piece and then push that into place. But computer Lego, we can line everything up and then just pop it all in place like that. All right, what kind of piece is that? I've never seen that piece before. But here we go. That goes under there like that. And then we get another bracket. Oh, I see how we're supposed to attach that. It's supposed to line up with this other bracket here so that they meet up on that piece like that. And we can start, and we're beginning to see the skeletons of the carriage take shape now. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of cookies while working on this. Now it says to go to the bottom of the carriage and put on a few pieces down here. Okay, it wants 2 of this unit. Are we still working on the bottom? No, we can turn it back right side up now. Okay then. So it says to build 2 of whatever we're doing right now. So normally with computer Lego, I just copy paste, but we want to give the cookies some time to generate. So okay, and then we need to put 2 of these. And then all right, those are set up. So now we need to put those on. And these will go on like this. There's an issue somewhere, clearly. So we want this right there, I think, to line up with this right here. Yeah, so we know that it's not broken. So I was just not lining it up correctly, I guess. All right, that's lined up correctly. Let's proceed. And I can tell from the tab that our cookies are generating well. So according to page count, we're about halfway done with our carriage. Now that we have the general shape together, we're starting to put in the detailing bits. Now that's not right at all. Okay, what's not lined up here? Oh, that's too far over. Now we can put that in there. Come over here, do the same on this side. And you can see the body is starting to take shape now. We're beyond the skeleton. Now we're working on shaping and detail, just like with the car the other day. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, we're definitely doing some body work now. It's definitely starting to look like what it's eventually supposed to gonna be. All right, so these will go on here like this, and then we shape it out with two of these. That because uh, I don't feel like rotating it again, so we'll just copy paste for that one. Okay, so yeah, that's not the seat. That's actually a little storage place, a little trunk, if you will, for storing their stuff during the ride. So Cookie Clicker was actually, yeah, we talked about the historical significance of Cookie Clicker before, but I want to do a stream where we look at some of the mobile idle games. Because while there have been plenty of browser-based idle games, the mobile scene is where they really proliferated. So we'll be taking a look at some of those later on. I mean, not later tonight on a future stream, but I have some of them set up and ready to go for when we're actually going to do it. So we have some more of these leaf pieces to contribute to the festive holiday atmosphere of the look. And then we come back here and we grab these, look like the bits. I hope I lined those up correctly. Okay, I see what's happening here. We just created detail lining. We're going to slide this whole assembly here over the back end of our carriage like that. And boom, we've just added a bunch more of the shape. We can still see the basic skeleton structure inside though. That'll be covered over once we add the wheels, which we're moving through quickly, so that won't be long now. When we go back to the cookies, I'll go back in my other browser and see if there's any other smallish holiday sets we want to attempt to tackle while waiting for our cookies. Because I'm okay with keeping the cookie game going for a little bit longer. I might even be good for a half nighter. We'll see. All right, we are quickly running out of pieces here. And then this assembly will go onto the front like this. This is a fun little build. And it's a beautifully designed vehicle, even if it is a little bit old-fashioned. And boom. We've got less than 10 pages of instructions to go here. Okay, I don't see how that's all lining up. think it intends for it to go like this. Yeah, looks like, and then we get a chair. And then we put the wheels on. And these are some fancy looking wheels. And they hide the structure nicely. All right, what's going on here? All right, these are up by the driver, so we need to do this. All right, so this whole thing is supposed to be attached. Right, yeah. All right, so we're gonna start putting things together now. Here's the main model. We're gonna attach the front section, which should go into this hole up here. You see how it's supposed to connect. For some reason, it's getting in the way. All right, that's connected. And now let's bring in the horse. And then this brick assembly is supposed to drop in on him. So the horse is set up. And now let's prepare the driver. All right. Yeah, that arm's got to come up some more. And then this arm has to come up a little bit. And we need to fix the carrot. And we need to fold up his legs. And now he's ready to go. We will put him up here in the driver's chair. And good, his carrot doesn't cause collision. I think we're good to go on that. And then let's put her in the thing. And then bring over, let's bring him over. And we need to pose his legs so he can sit. And they're sitting together like that. And let's come back to the driver. And I'm making an executive decision to switch his arms. The arm can be fixed up a little bit better, I think. The carrot just looks a little bit awkward right now. All right. The carrot looks a little better. Here's our little carriage scene. Turn off collision so that it comes out well in the render. And the driver's carrot, of course, is for feeding the horse. And that's a good enough angle as any, so let's save it off. And there's our Lego build. And I will render off stream. And let's switch back to the cookies now and check in with the cookies. All right. Sugar cookies, cookie production plus 1%. Tasty if a little unimaginative. And kitten helpers. You gain more CPS the more milk you have. I think milk is the achievements thing. Meow may help you. All right, that boosted us a little bit. Child labor. Factories are twice as efficient. Cheaper, healthier workforce. I'm starting to have doubts about our cookie production now. Million fingers. No, we're close enough to bank. At this point, we're going to sit and wait for our banks. Santa's going to be well fed this year, I think. Clicking power times 777. We got some achievements. I think that's a milk thing. So now what? We're gonna bring everything up a row as well. Okay, that brings our production up to 78,000 cookies. Prune juice. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Gets me going. Iron mouse. Clicking gains 1% of your CPS. Click like it's 1349. Okay. Before I do that, we're at 829.5. So this brings us up to 1,630. We pretty much doubled our clicks. Ultra drill. Mines are twice as efficient. Finally caved in. All right, we got to wait a bit for the grandma upgrade. Worker grandmas. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Factories gain plus 1% CPS per 3 grandmas. A nice worker to manufacture more cookies. So we're about to get the factory grandmas. And boom, there we are. And we're now producing over 100,000 cookies per second. All right, what we're going to do now is I actually got to take a quick little break. We're going to let our cookies generate while I take a quick break. Yeah, you just saw me make a little misclick. I fixed it, but that set us back a bit, so I'm gonna keep on my break a little bit. I need to take a bio break. I'm trying to see if there's another little Lego set we could build. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm back. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Looks like we want to do a couple cookie upgrades. Peanut butter cookies, production multiplier plus 2%. Get yourself some jam cookies. And then million fingers. Multiplies the gain from 1,000 fingers by 5. Clickety clickety. Oatmeal raisin cookies. Production multiplier plus 1. No raisin to hate these. And we're going to wait for taller tales as well. Oh, that's going to be 2 minutes. Yeah, we're barely making a dent. Previously, I measured my own click speed at about 6 clicks a second. So we're only making about 13,000 clicks. Or, I'm sorry, 14,000 clicks per second on this. That's not much compared with the 112,000 per second we're already getting from the auto producers. But I found us one more Lego set to build. We're going to build a nutcracker. And we'll switch back over to the studio in just a moment when we buy this bank upgrade. And then after we build the nutcracker, we'll come back and we should be able to push a few more upgrades. We've been streaming 2 hours, but I could keep this party going a little bit longer. I'm feeling great right now. So the upgrade is called Taller Tellers. Banks are twice as efficient, able to process a higher amount of transactions. Careful though, as taller tellers tell tall tales. All right, so we're just about ready to click that. And that will take our production up to 135,000, almost 136,000 per second. And we're also going to evolve our Santa baby. He's now an elfling. We found increased merriness. And that only costs 5 million, so we're going to wait for that one as well. Cookie production multiplier plus 15%. Cost scales with Santa level. It turns out that the key to increased merriness, strangely enough, happens to be a good campfire and some s'mores. You know what they say after all, the s'more, the merrier. And this will and we have a click frenzy as well. So this will help us get a few more upgrades, I think. All right, how are we? Not close to the temple yet. So we'll get our increased merriness. We can get a few cookies, it looks like. Scissor resistant credit cards. Banks are twice as efficient for those truly valued customers. All right, we're now making over 200,000 cookies per second, and a click generates about 4,400 cookies per click, which comes out to about 25,000 cookies per second. So like a 10% boost on the auto clicks. And then we'll buy coconut cookies, cookie production plus 2%. Flaky but not unreliable. Some people go crazy for these. So our coconuts bring us up to 219. And here's where we will let money cycle for a while. And we will go back into the Lego studio. Give me a moment to get everything Switch back over. And we have loaded the parts for the Nutcracker. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. He looks like he'll be a relatively quick build as well, so let's get right into him. Okay, and now we're going to keep adding some more pieces as we do with Lego builds. And those will go in there like that. It's really cool just how many different animal pieces Lego's made over the years. Oh, I forgot to tell you what we're building. We're building another traditional symbol of the holiday season, the Nutcracker. Nutcrackers are traditionally made in a toy soldier appearance, but they've been known to be highly customizable as well. There's even a popular holiday time ballet about a Nutcracker who turns out to be a prince of an enchanted world. All right, let's make sure we're lined up on the bottom here. Okay. One thing I like about Christmas is all the bright colors. I'm not really a fan of the season in general, but I do enjoy all the colors and the lights. Oh, now it tells me we're supposed to make two of these. No matter. I can I can adjust in a moment. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to finish this section and then I'm just going to do a copy paste because I didn't know starting out that was supposed to be a two times. It did say two times. I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, not a big deal. It's computer Lego. It's an easy fix. So let's bring the foot over. We're supposed to line up on those studs like that, I think. And then let's bring in the other foot and line this one up on these studs on this side. Like that. And now we just got to start building up his body. Yeah, that's how we know we lined up the legs correctly. Ooh, brackets, that means we're going to get some snot technique going on here in a moment. You really can build anything out of Lego with a little bit of imagination, creativity, and cleverness. Some models do require that. But some models are simple and you don't really need to have too much imagination to pull it off. No, wrong piece there. I think this is going to be the last Lego set for the evening. If we need to kill time, we'll go back to poetry, I think. Because we have I didn't see too much else in the Legos that I wanted to build tonight. That's not what I clicked. All right. This whole chunk comes here inside. So we're beginning to build up his internal support structure. And we're setting up some snot bricks here. Okay, that's in there like that. All right, he's going up pretty quickly. We're already about halfway done with the instructions. And there we go, his whole lower body. Now we're going to build his upper body. Okay, again, I did those pieces a little bit out of order. You can't really do what I just did in physical Lego. My friend and I are planning a special collaboration stream if we can figure out how to do the camera tech, where we're going to pick a Star Wars set and we're going to try and build it. He's going to build the physical model. I'm going to build the computer model, and having both builds on screen at the same time, we can compare and contrast the uh, the processes of working with uh, physical Lego versus computer Lego. I think it'll be a fascinating insight to show the differences because they're both fun, but they both have advantages and disadvantages that we want to show off. All right, so we come back down here to our Technic bits because it shows this one. And then we have the long pin going through it like that. And then we have the axle bits. It's cool how LEGO uses Technic pieces to help create a strong internal structure. Because straight bricks, depending on the size and shape of the build, can be weak. I've seen improperly structured improperly structured and skeleton models collapse before. I've seen videos of it happening. That's never actually happened to me in person because I always follow the instructions. I, you know what I think we're building here? His little nutcracker bit. The little lever that nutcrackers have on their body to crunch the nuts. I think is what we're doing here. Here, let's move in a little closer to where we're working. So yeah, you got two holiday-inspired winter Lego sets and a bunch of virtual cookies for Santa. And some nice poetry, which we'll probably go back to since I'm not ready to call it quits with the cookies just yet. The game's just starting to get interesting now, so we're going to get to cool stuff in a bit if I have the patience to stay up for it. So right now we're building up his body. That looks like that might be where we're about to attach the arms in a moment. We're we're definitely doing this build real pretty quickly. I was a tiny bit concerned when I saw the piece count, but I think we're moving through it just fine. When it's done, we probably will have been on this model less time than on the sleigh, on the carriage ride, which itself was technically about 100 less pieces than this. And again, I'll do both renders after the stream. So now he gets, it looks like a little beard on the bottom of his little cracker lever here. Looks like we're making a little hint of a beard there. This says 2 times, but I'm just going to do the old computer trick of copy paste since I want to get back to the cookies efficiently. That's not the piece I want. This is the piece I want. Ooh, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, definitely no more Lego after this. Let's turn these so that the whole bits will be in the back. All right, so there's the one arm. Here's the other arm. And with his arms straight forward like that, it makes him look like a zombie. But we'll pose those arms in a bit here. We're not having zombie nutcracker today. Okay. This looks like, did I line it up correctly? Looks to be so. Yeah, that's a very smooth lineup job. I think we're good. Now we're going to work on his head, it looks like. We've got about 10 pages of instructions left. Meanwhile, the cookies are coming along nicely. I think we're going to work on our next round of production facilities and then focus on upgrades. Oof, we used an incorrect piece somewhere, but that's okay. For the purposes of this set, it's not going to be noticeable. It's not like the car where was physical Lego, so it absolutely mattered. Because here we can just change piece colors and grab whatever pieces we want. Okay, these will keep going on. All right. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, I see what we're doing. All right. I'm probably not streaming tomorrow night, um, since we've got dinner plans, but we'll see how I feel when we get back. Yeah, we're definitely almost done with this. All right. Okay, so his face is looking pretty good. A little on the blocky side, but that's to be expected from Lego. He almost looks like a Brickheads, but at least he actually has functional eyes. I've always thought the Brickhead style, I never liked it, not for me. Okay, this is one section we're going to take advantage of the copy paste. I like this clever part usage to make the appearance of an old style curly wig. that you see in fancy European and colonial settings. And there he is. He looks a bit like a vampire. I think his mouth is still a little unfinished. Yeah, we have to finish his, he's got big, huge eyebrows and a big, huge mustache. I think he'll look good once we put in the mustache bits. Do I have that facing the right way? I do not. Yeah, that's better. Okay, he looks good now. He looks pretty good. And this whole section drops on top of what we've already done. Like, we just drag him up to the top and line him up with what's already here. Like that. You can see the little lever piece. Oh, we even get to make a little hat for him. All right, so we're not quite done yet. That's a nice little hat. We'll stick it on. That's not. All right. We'll stick it right on top of his head. Like that. I like the look. Let's see. Let's put his arms down. Yeah, that's a good angle for them. Okay, his arms are down. He looks like he's good. And there we go. Here's a final look at the Nutcracker. And I'll render him after Scream as usual. And actually, we had the sleigh pointing to the left. So let's have him facing slightly towards the right. And you know what else? Can I close his beard up a little bit? Will it let me? Well, let me go all the way to 30. Now that triggers collision, but all right. We will fix that then. All right, no more collision. I think he looks a little bit better with his beard up like that. I'll put him facing like that so you can't see the little stick in his back. So we'll give it a little bit more of a head-on view like this. And we will save. We made a little nutcracker. Here's one more view of the carriage. And let me go into the studio and bring us back to the cookies. All right. We're going to start the temples. And that nearly doubled our production. Your time to shrine. Nice little pun there. We need to wait for 114 million. We can help a little bit, but yeah, so we need to wait for 114 million to bring up the next bank. Oh, it looks like we're going to get into the fun stuff soon. So now that I'm staring at the cookies, uh, I'll be able to click the power-ups and accelerate, such as this reindeer. So we need to get up to about 150 million so we can get the next row of banks and factories. And from there, mines, farms, grandmas, and cursors should be easy. As long as we have a Santa upgrade in the queue, we do not currently have a Santa upgrade in the queue. So what we want to do is we're also going to want to upgrade this Santa. But let's get our power up. Let's get our production up first. Let's just keep watching for power-ups. So we've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. I think it's going to be mostly cookies from here on out. I'm done with the Lego. It's 4 o'clock in the morning here, but I think I could keep this going a little while longer. Tell you what, let's go to 3 hours, see how we feel. I doubt there'll be anyone available to raid when we finish. It's the middle of the night here. So about another minute, minute and a half should get us to where we need to be for the banks. Cookie production is in strong swing now. Here's what the temples look like and the banks. Actually, it's a little distracting having all these out. So let's minimize the farms, the mines, the factories, the banks, and the temples. And we can keep watching the grandmas. And it's just about time for the upgrade now. So the bank, and now we got to wait for 43, which is going to be about a minute and a half, unless we get a power up. We're not going to make it to the really cool end game stuff tonight, I don't think. But I'm good for a little while. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's bring up our factories and then our mines. Farms. And then some more grandmas. And then some more cursors. I like keeping things even in this game. Let's scroll up and start thinking about power-ups. We need 52 for the next power-up. But before we do power-ups, let's upgrade Santa so we can see what the next Christmas upgrade is going to be. So Santa is now a young elf. And we have an upgrade called Santa's Helpers for 16 million. Clicking is 10% more powerful, cost scales with Santa level. Some choose to help Hamburger, some choose to help you. To each their own, I guess. So clicking currently does 11,205 after the upgrade. 12,325. So yeah, the Christmas upgrades do improve the meta. All right. Sugar lumps. Because you baked a billion cookies, you are now tracking sugar lumps. They coalesce towards the top of the screen under the stats. We will be able to harvest them when they're ripe, after which we may spend them on all sorts of things. So we're going into bonus currency now. We got another achievement, the world famous bakery. And we have a frenzy, so that's going to really help us out. And we'll be able to get a few upgrades at once, I think. Once we come out of that. The next thing after temples is wizard towers. We're not going to get close to those on this frenzy. So yeah, I'm having fun tonight. We've got a strong connection tonight. It says we have 0 drop frames. When the frenzy's over, we'll be able to do some upgrading. Starting with genetically modified cookies, farms are twice as efficient. All natural mutations. So that will bring us from 556 to 567. Sweatshop. Factories are twice as efficient. Slackers will be terminated. Banker grandmas. Grandmas are twice as efficient. First the reindeer. Banker grandmas. Grandmas are twice as efficient. Banks gain plus 1% CPS per 4 grandmas. A nice banker to cash in more cookies. So you should see you should see some bankers appear among the grandmas. Yep, we have some bankers now. So yeah, you can see we have a whole bunch of different grandma types now. Yeah. All right, so that's all. We got that going. Let's get a couple cookie upgrades. Macadamia nut cookies. Cookie production multiplier plus 2%. They're macadam delicious. Almond cookies. Cookie production multiplier plus 2%. Sometimes you feel like one of these. Sometimes you don't. And we need to wait for 95 to come around. And now we're just waiting for power-ups to appear. Oh God, should I start singing Christmas songs? Or should I go back to poetry recitals? I don't know what I want to do. Hazelnut cookies, plus 2%. Tastes like a morning stroll through a fragrant forest, minus the clouds of gnats. We've got two more at the $100. So let's wait for reindeers and power ups now. Reindeers golden cookies. That'll help us build things up. Do we want to do another row of production? We need to get to 1.6 billion to do another row of production. So I don't think we want to do that yet. Actually, let's go for 200 million so we can start upgrading those temples. Because we might start to see a real breakaway in our production efficiency. And here, I'll show you another look at our Legos. There's the carriage. And there is the Nutcracker. Both of them will need to be rendered while I download my video. Okay. And back to the cookies. I want to keep my eye on this screen for right now because you never know when a golden cookie or there's the reindeer. So it's going to be about a minute and a half before we can get this temple upgrade. And then we've got two more cookie upgrades at the 100 million mark that we should probably go for. Ah, Click Frenzy. Oh, we'll be able to get a bunch of things, it looks like. All right. Golden Idols. Temples are twice as efficient. Lure even greedier adventurers to retrieve your cookies. Now that's a real idol game. Nice use of a pun there. Uh, idle game. Okay. And now we're at just under a million cookies per second. And our cookies per click is growing as well. And then we'll get the titanium mouse. Clicking gains plus 1% of your CPS. Heavy but powerful. Okay, that actually was a good multiplier. Walnut cookies. Cookie production plus 2%. Some experts have pointed to the walnut's eerie resemblance to the human brain as a sign of its sentience, a theory most walnuts vehemently object to. And then we're going to go for cashew cookies, another 2%. Let me tell you about cashews. Cashews are not nuts, but seeds that grow out of curious red or yellow fruits, which can be eaten on their own or made into drinks. The shell around the nut itself contains a nasty substance that stains and irritates the hands of whoever handles it for too long. But that's okay, since now that you've read this, you'll make sure it doesn't get in the cookies. Oh, you've already eaten how many? Okay then. All right. Now let's wait for the next um we need the next power up before we can do anything else. We could go for the next Santa upgrade though. He needs 387 million to evolve. That's about 2 minutes ish from now, a little less, unless we get a power up. I have so many cool streams planned for the new year. All right, so we're just about there for the Santa upgrade. Santa is now a bulky elf. We we get a weighted sleighs for 47 million. That's less than a minute away. More like half a minute ish. I think with the Legos behind us, we've kind of lost momentum on the poetry. We might ask ChatGPT for other poetry, but later. But so this is going to be the weighted sleighs. Reindeer are twice as slow. Cost scales with Santa level, so they won't move as fast, and we'll have more of a chance to catch them. Hope it was worth the wait. Something something forced into servitude. Oh, that's a nice play on words. That requires knowledge of science. Hope it was worth the wait. Weighted sleighs. All right. Next cookie upgrades. Yeah. We're not going to have anything going on for a while. 10 billion. We need 6.7 billion for 10 towers. If we scale back to 1, we can start stacking, I think. 6.7 billion. That's got to be a few power ups at our current rate. So we get 1 million a little over every 10 seconds. And then, no, we're getting 1 million. So we get 1 billion after 1,000 seconds. Yeah, we need power ups for the wizard towers. Um, what to do? We could just keep going for these power-ups. Yeah, let's just wait for power-ups right now. Stay the course. Let me see if I can set up a screen reader. Okay, that's what we want to go for, is the golden cookie upgrade, I think. Let me come into my other browser. Okay. All right, I'm trying to see if there's a screen reader so I don't have to talk too much. I wonder. All right, I'm trying to research something real quick. All right, we're going to attempt something. What the heck? That was a little jangle. Yeah, it's slow going right now. We are gonna we're gonna do this next
Loading
row.
NVDA.
What the?
Most of the NVDA install NVDA on this computer. Install NVDA. To install, off, use, not check, off, create desk, in, 500,
Okay, it's
installing NVDA.
all right. Hold on.
Downloads,
I'm
home,
muting real
studio,
quick. My I'm
mute
trying
mic
to set
slash
something up and
accelerate.
it's going haywire. All right. Sorry about that. I think I almost fixed the issue. Let's start bringing things up here. We're doing a one at a time round right now. We just passed officially 1,000,000 cookies per second. And we started with the wizard towers. We're going to try and cycle these up to 10 again, as we've been doing. We just passed 3 hours, and I think things are going to slow down for a bit. But we did improve our reindeer, so maybe they're not going to slow down terribly much. Okay, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out this other program here that'll help us get some poetry back. Let me try.
Speech mode beeps. Speech mode talk. Running applications. Time clicker. ChatGPT Mozilla Firefox. Speech mode off.
Okay, then how do I do this? Okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. And it is getting late. So we didn't get to the really exotic stuff, but tell you what we're going to do. We've been going 3 hours. I'm tired. I have to process this video before I get some sleep because we have plans tomorrow, so, or plans later today. So I need to find us an exit raid. Who are we going to see tonight? Well, we had a lot of fun tonight. 2 Lego sets, some wonderful Christmas poetry, and of course, some cookies. And we got a frenzy, so that will help us out a little bit. All right, so as soon as this frenzy is over, we're just going to call it. I'm going to move, while I'm processing the video, I'm going to move all these up to a multiple of 10 and then probably go after some more upgrades since I have to wait for the video to process anyway. So here was a good look at Cookie Clicker, some holiday themed Lego, and some nice poetry. So yeah, let's see if there's anyone here to raid. Hold on a second. I seem to have a little technical issue. John Lee's still on, so I guess we'll raid him. All right, let's go ahead and get the raid set up. If I don't see you again tonight, have a Merry Christmas, and we will definitely have some streams, a couple stream or two throughout the week, but might be slow for streaming because I'm preparing a lot of stuff for January, so we'll do 1 or 2 streams this week probably. Have a good night. So the raid is initiated. Merry Christmas, good night, and I'll see you soon. Good night. Good night.
For the follow. Probably right during the shit show.